Yep.
Welcome to episode 47 of the Grassroots Guy podcast with me, your host, Harry Purdy. I've been away for a couple of weeks. I'm delighted to be back with a brand new guest, professional boxer, the first professional boxer to make it to the ring from Yeovil town, El Diablo, Dean Dodge. Welcome to the show, mate. How are you doing?
Thank you, mate. Thank you for having me on. It's my pleasure. And I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you doing?
Yeah, all good, mate. I'm buzzing to speak to my first pro boxer on the show. It makes it even more relevant that you're from Yeovil. Obviously, I try and get a lot of local guests that are doing well in the sporting world. So to get you on, mate, is definitely the show's pleasure. So yeah, welcome to the show. Are you looking forward to your experience?
Yes, mate. Yeah, definitely. It's I've seen your podcast. It's been floating around a little bit, and it's been my pleasure for you to invite me on there.
Perfect, mate. Let's go straight in. You've just texted me 5 minutes. You've trained twice today. You're in the door. You've still got your gym kit on. You're onto a podcast. It's no easy life, is it? Being a professional sportsman by the looks of things.
No, mate. It's flat out. Literally flat out. I left the door at 8 a.m. this morning. Headed off to Cardiff for sparring. Done 8 rounds sparring today. My first 8 rounder I've sparred, so that was good with 2 fresh opponents. I then travelled back to Western-super-Mare where I trained to, and done strength and conditioning. Strength and conditioning, did that, and then left about 5 o'clock, and it took me about an hour to get here, and quickly dropped all my kit off, and then ran up and got on the phone and messaged you, and now we're here.
Yeah, now we're here. Now we're ready to go, mate. 100%. So I'm sure people have seen, or if they haven't, you have got an upcoming title fight, Southern Area title fight. Is that correct? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's a Southern Area title fight. Yeah, I boxed for it before last year in the pandemic, but this time now, loads of people coming up to watch me. So I'm headlining the event as well. So that's history. That's history in itself. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone from Yeovil's for a title, let alone headlining a big event in London at the York Hall. So it's massive.
Massive, mate. Yeah, amazing. And I've actually watched the fight. What did you take from the first experience of boxing for a title?
It was a weird one. There was no fans. I didn't perform my best. You know what I mean? I know I didn't perform my best. There's a lot of things outside of boxing what was going on, which didn't help me. But I just rolled with it, and it's a learning experience. I'm glad I've learned in a big fight on a big stage, and now I'm going to come back bigger, better, and stronger.
Yeah, amazing. That's the best attitude to have for sure. Dean, I always ask people this question on this show, and who were you? Because you're not a grassroots sports person anymore, but who were you when you were a grassroots sports person, and what were your first memories of sports in general?
So sports in general, I think it was just playing football for Leeds United. I don't know if you might have knew them, but played for Leeds United as a kid, and that's how I sort of got into boxing. I started playing for them, and then I think it was the summer break, and my manager just said, "Oh, if you want to have a little bit of fitness, go down to the local boxing gym." So I went down there with my best mate. Went down there, sort of never looked back. I just loved everything about it, and just got really involved about it. And yeah, I just haven't really looked back. I think I stopped when I was 15, started back when I was 17. Bit of stuff was starting, but yeah, now I'm 28 and I haven't stopped since about 17.
Amazing. So what was it about boxing that you preferred to football then?
To be honest, man, I don't really know. I just think I just like whacking someone, or just like it was the physical violence, and it's not a team sport. You know what I mean? It's just you and him. So if you mess up in the ring, that's it. Your ass is getting it. If you play bad on a football pitch, or if you have a bad game, you know what I mean. You got 10 other players to help you out. Or if you're in a World Cup final, or if you're in the World Cup, if you're in the final of a game and you're playing the game and that, and even if you have a real terrible game, someone will tap you on the back and go, "Oh mate, I know you played well." But if that's in the boxing ring and you mess up or you do something wrong, that could be the end of the fight.
Yeah.
and that's your ass. You know what I mean? You're in trouble, man.
So you're saying you like the responsibility of taking it upon yourself to perform to your best. Then you don't want to rely on anybody else.
Yeah, I think it's like, and like I said, going back to the football game, like if you win a football game, everyone's congratulated. But when you win a boxing match, the highs of the boxing match, the highs of the win, like everything's all about you. You know what I mean? Like all the cameras for you, all the supports for you, all the ticket sales for you. When you win, it's a different feeling than winning a football game. It's unreal feeling.
Yeah, amazing. I'm sure when the referee lifts your hand in the middle of the ring in front of a big crowd, especially when you've boxed at Yeovil at Westlands, I'm sure that must be an amazing feeling.
Oh, it's something else. I remember as well when I think I boxed in Bournemouth at the O2 Academy. It was my first knockout win, and it was a big knockout win, and that was in front of a massive crowd up there. I think it must have been like 2,000 people there. It was very good, and it's the O2 Academy in Bournemouth as well, so it's quite small, quite compact arena, and getting a win like that in that sort of style I did it in was a memory that will be with me. And I didn't make no money from that fight, but you can't put a price on that memory.
Yeah, yeah. So would you say that's probably your biggest and best memory that you've had within your career there?
Yeah, definitely. Boxing in Yeovil was a good one. That was a big that was a key moment in my career. Boxing in front of my hometown. That was nice. And I got the stoppage win on that as well. That was some atmosphere. But I think the win in Bournemouth, like everything that was built up to the fight, for me not making no money, I think I weighed in at a pound overweight, so then I had to give my opponent an extra £100. Just little things like that was just nuts. And then the celebrations afterwards were pretty good with the coach.
Yeah, amazing. So that's like an interesting one as well. Then, in regards to it being an individual sport, you do have a team around you. What do your team offer you in regards to support at the ringside and obviously in the build up to the fights?
They're just with me all the time. You know what I mean? Like my coaches, I got two coaches now. I've got Dean Lewis and Dave Entwistle. Dean's one of my best mates as well. He's been with me from the start of my career, and we've turned into really, really good friends, and probably one of my best mates. And that's come from just boxing and that. And yeah, he's always checking in on me. He's always asking how I'm feeling. Like he's like a big brother sort of thing, something which is nice. You know what I mean? And not only just he's one of my best mates. He's like very, very, very like caring guy. You know what I mean? We've got his back for me.
Yeah, amazing. What would you say the biggest lesson that you've learned about yourself in all of your career from an amateur boxer, Yeovil ABC, to where you are now about to fight again for the Southern Area title, headlining in London?
I'm one stubborn bastard. That's what I am. Stubborn. That's what I am. Like I haven't given up. Like I've had a lot of hard times. A lot of times where I thought, like, Jesus Christ, like, why am I doing this for? Am I making the money? I mean, like, you know what I mean? Still not financially making any money. It's like, it's hard. It's one of the hardest sports in the world. That's what they say it is. It's a lonely sport as well. Like a lot of people don't realise that it's not just lonely in the aspect that you're in the ring on your own. It's like people don't understand, like relationships don't work. Because you're always like dieting and that. It's a massive it's just massive, you know what I mean? And it's just very lonely unless you're with a group of boxers and you're in a gym full of other boxers, and then you can sort of relate to each other. But I'm not in a gym full of other boxers, just me and my coach, and that's it really. That's how it's always been since I've been a young kid. Not from London, so not in a gym full of other lads bouncing off each other. If you're having a bad day in the gym, then I assume that some of the lads will pick you up and spur you on. Like I don't get that. It's just like if you're having a down day, you got to like man up and just get on with it.
Yeah, 100%. Do you think there's power in that though? Like, because obviously some people would give up, and you say you're a stubborn bastard, like your own words.
Yeah.
is there power in the fact of having a bad day and just cracking on anyway?
Yeah, definitely. I think that it's definitely hardened me up like mentally, and making me quite very resilient. Um, but that's why there's not many people from there's no one from Yeovil who's doing what I've done. So like for me to do this and show that kids as well, and show that other people that being from a small town, if you just hustle and you keep grafting, and even though things you will have days that are bad, you know what I mean? You just gotta keep plugging through it because anything's possible.
Yeah, and just touching on like your lows and like you say about your resilience and stuff, I'm pretty sure it's common knowledge that you were almost announced homeless. Am I right in saying in your story? So to keep going to where you are still now, obviously still like you say hustling for that professional like breakthrough with the Southern Area title fight and going for it again, and obviously headlining an event. How did you come back from that, mate? And like, what did really spur you on? Was it just the passion of boxing?
I think this is the makeup of me as a person. I'm very strong-minded. Don't get me wrong, like them dark times they were hard because being homeless and having nowhere to go and that it is hard, and like, breaking up with women at the time as well. That's what left me on my ass sort of thing. So you know what I mean, tough times don't last, tough people do, as the old cliche as they say. And that's true, you know what I mean? When things are going bad and you think, God, this ain't never gonna end, you know what I mean? But it does. And once it does, you've got to just then pick yourself up. You don't want to keep going down that rabbit hole, that deep hole. Otherwise you'll be too far gone, you won't be able to get yourself out of it. So you've just got to trust the process and believe that what you're doing is right, and you will subside.
Yeah, and in regards to the upcoming match, tell us about who it's against, and are you more confident this time round, in a more comfortable headspace, less going on around you? Are you in a better place?
100%. Mentally. I'm bulletproof this camp. You know, I mean, nothing's going wrong. Little niggles here and there, and that, but that's part of the game. Um, I've had no distractions outside of this camp at all, outside this training camp for this fight. No distractions, and um, that's definitely what's helped. You know what I mean? Like last year, I wasn't even sleeping. You know what I mean? I was struggling to sleep. Um, Sometimes I was doing all nighters, but 2 or 3 times doing all nighters, and I was doing sparring with really top lads, and that's going to be definitely the difference for this fight. Fighting a lad from London, so I'm the away fighter, but that's why I'm trying to bring as many people up to London as I can. So I'm not the home fighter, so I'm not the away fighter. Sorry, I want to go up there and show everyone that I mean business and bring a big crowd up with me, support me. It's not gonna if it's a close fight. I don't want the judges to be swayed because he's a London boy. They give it
Yeah,
to him. Exactly. Like I want a big fan base up there. I want a big local support. That's why it is hard selling tickets, but like this don't come around too often. So I really want like back in the Yeovil and the people of Yeovil to buy a ticket and come and watch me because this is going to be a part of history when I win this fight.
yeah, amazing. You said about your sleep and stuff, and I do touch into the old self development word within some of the things I post about and within the podcast. What was the biggest thing that's made uh, your improvements on your sleep, and what have you done to assist yourself in that?
What I've done, well, basically all the negativity in my life is disappeared. I haven't got not many. Like everyone has worries, but I haven't got no worries that are affecting me to affect my sleep at all. Like I used to go to bed real night anxious and that, and just like constantly worrying about things which hadn't even happened, and and things that were happening. I was making myself really anxious. But now I have a really good bed routine. I'm making sure that I'm getting up really early in the morning as well. So the times where I'm training twice a day, that I'm getting 10 o'clock at night, and I'm absolutely shattered. Um, and another thing what I'm doing is dim all the lights in where I'm staying, dim all the lights, so the lights are all switched off, and the only lighting that I might have on is maybe my phone or maybe the TV in the background, but everything's dark. And then I'm taking some supplements before bed, like magnesium,
Yeah.
helping that. ZMA, taking that. It's little things, you know what I mean? They're little small percentages, but they help.
Yeah.
I don't. Another thing I've done as well, um don't I don't have much caffeine, and I have one coffee in the morning, and that's for my first session.
Yeah.
And now I'm drinking a decaf, so everything's most of my drinks are decaffeinated, or they all are. So from the first one in the morning, and that's just before my first session, so that helps. And yeah, I think that's really helped as well. Is going decaf.
Yeah, that's really useful. And in regards to your like schedule, you've spoken a little bit about your morning routine. Obviously, you're up early, you have a coffee. Like, talk to me about your day. Obviously, you say today you've gone for 2 training sessions. One of them strength and condition, one of them's rounds. But an
Yeah,
average day for you, is that like pretty much it? 2 training sessions, high foods.
yeah, that is it. So like Monday I'll go sparring, and Friday I go sparring. So Monday would be I'll get up 7 o'clock in the morning, and I do a big stretch. That's what I do. I do 10, 15 minutes of stretching. That's another thing what I've done for this training camp as well, is make sure that I'm stretching daily. Where before I sort of neglected stretching. Didn't really. I did a little bit of stretching, but nothing like now. Like I'm stretching like 20, 30 minutes a day, and that's helped like massively. Helped with my recovery. So yeah. So wake up in the morning and stretch every morning. I then I won't eat breakfast, and I won't eat my first meal, so I don't call it breakfast. I don't eat my first meal unless I know that. So if I'm training in Western at say like 10 o'clock, then I won't eat my first meal until maybe 8:30 and stuff. So if I get up at 7, I won't eat straight away. I drink about a liter and a half like when I first wake up as well. Taking my vitamins and stuff, and then yeah, head to the gym, train, then and after that session refuel, so rest up, maybe get a few steps in. Sorry, and then train again.
Yeah,
That's how
nice.
it is, and then like I listen to my body as well. I'm not stupid. Like if I know that my body's sore and it's in bits and that, like I will only train once. But I never just go, oh, right, I got to push another session in because the sake of doing 2 sessions. You know what I mean? It doesn't. I won't bother with that. And then so I do that all through the week. Do 2 sprint sessions through the week, and then tomorrow I'll be running a 10 kilometer, which is just a fat burner run. So I'm I'm an explosive athlete. You know what I mean? I used to run quite a bit all the time, but I'm a boxer. I need to be explosive. I'm not a marathon runner, so I don't need to be running tons of miles like people. That's what people think you got to be doing, running all the time. And I used to do that all the time. I look at my body 3, 4 years ago to now. Like I'm a completely different athlete.
Muscle mass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've passed you running a few times around Yeovil, to be honest with you.
I
And
mean,
you're always running about 5 times quicker than me, mate. I'll tell you that much.
and then not a bad runner to be honest. Did the Yeovil half marathon, and I think I won a bad time because I did it 1:21. I think it was.
Yeah, that's quick.
That was fast. Yeah.
Yeah. So, in regards to your diet, then I know from following you on Instagram that you love a bagel and you love your porridge, mate. What else is
Yeah.
what else is like on the Dean Dodge pre-fight diet then?
I eat a lot of ice cream. The low calorie ice creams are good. They're good for people who are in a calorie deficit and wanting something sweet. Yeah, love the bagels. Eat a lot of bagels. And porridge. Just literally had some porridge and protein powder just as I spoke to you. There you go.
Oh, there you go, mate. Look at that.
Yeah, and I don't know. I eat the same sort of foods every day. Just because I know it's easy and I know what sort of I track my food. I know the calories what I'm eating every day. So yeah. What else do I have? Sometimes I mix it up. I have some of them skinny products. They're really good.
Oh
I have
yeah.
them on my Greek yogurt at night. I really rate them. And I like the skinny hazelnut chocolate and salted caramel chocolate. You put that with your porridge. That goes really well.
Yeah, nice.
Really filling as well for the first meal of the morning. And yeah, and then one day we could I do a low carbohydrate day and then high fat. So eat a lot of eggs on them days.
It sounds like you have got your routines nailed. You know what I mean? Like you can see that there's extra work that goes in, and like you've said, like it's nice to do, or not nice, maybe not nice is the wrong word, but it's helpful to do the same things daily because it then becomes a habit. Do you find
Yeah,
that having those habits is easier for you?
100%. You know what I mean? Like even with the foods, you know what I mean? Like when people go out, so I got friends who go out and they eat certain foods and that they don't like, wouldn't class it as healthy foods or low calorie food. It'd be like a high calorie meal and that. But I don't really crave it. You know what I mean? Sometimes I do want to have a little bit of a cheesecake or something, but if I haven't expended enough energy in that day, then I won't have that. But if I have, I won't like not have something. You know what I mean? Just because that's my nutrition on food, how it's elevated. Like years ago, I used to go out for meals and that, and I'd be so weird with food. I wouldn't like, oh, I can't have this, can't have that. But really, it's like everyone's education on calories in versus calories out, and it's evolved. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people know about it now. When like 3 4 years ago, no one knew about it. Everyone thought of it, chicken rice, chicken rice, chicken rice. Because that's what I thought. That's all I thought. I thought, oh, if I'm not having the chicken and rice meal, if I have that, I can't have that because that's going to be too dangerous for me. But in reality, it wasn't.
Yes. Obviously, with yourself though, just to gain those extra percentages, you've got to stick to certain sorts of foods and like almost keep them as nutritious as possible.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like I don't. To be honest, I don't really eat very many vegetables. So I've started taking a super greens a super greens shake in the morning. So I
Oh
get
yeah.
all my vegetables through that. That's what I've done. So so I know that I'm getting my greens in and I won't ever get ill.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, all of those things make a difference. Dean, just moving the conversation on, I got to ask the name El Diablo, where did it come from? And what's the story behind it?
To be honest, and there's not much of a massive story behind it. It's just like my fighting style is very aggressive. Um, and El Diablo means the devil in I think it's Spanish. But I fight like a Mexican fighter, so when I have my shorts on, I always have a Mexican trim on them. So I fight, come forward, and I'm a fighter. So I just all mixed it all up together, and was like, oh yeah, I like the sound of it. It's a bit different. I had a few names come to me, but just always kept the El Diablo, and it is different. You know what I mean? Like, or it could have been called someone like Dean Dangerous Dodge or something, but I just Triple D. I don't know, just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
hitting it on the spot. No, I like El Diablo. I did think about changing it to the Disciple,
Oh yeah.
because I started reading the Bible recently. Read the Bible, and that gave me like a real good headspace. Give me a bit of faith as well, which I enjoyed.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about that then, mate, because I did not expect you to come onto the podcast and say that. So what did you get from it?
Well, I was one time I was watching this. I was sat down, a little bit down, and I think it was just before Christmas, 2 weeks before Christmas. I remember sitting down at my dad's. I said to him, I said, "Oh, let's watch this film," and it was I think it was called Passion Before Christ. It was um, it was a really good film, and I watched it, and I was just so fascinated by the film, and I was really intrigued about the story of Jesus, and I was just really intrigued. Like never. I was just real zoning on the TV. Never, I haven't really watched a film like that and been so into it. And I was asking my dad loads of questions about it, and my dad's quite knowledgeable because when he went to school, that's what they taught about all Jesus and all that and stuff. And I was just really fascinated by it. And I said to him, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to read the Bible." I didn't read the Bible with think it was the original one, but I read the one with the story of Jesus and what happened with that. And when I was listening, I had an audio book. So when it was telling me that telling me what happened. Now I just imagine the whole TV when I'm watching the film on TV. And yeah, I just really liked it. And I've always just had like I'm a firm believer of like higher power and stuff. Like call it God, call it whatever you want. Like no one's saying that you can't call it this, can't call it that, or whatever it is. And I've just been really really into all that, and good things happen to people who are positive and like positivity. Been a massive person on that sort of the last sort of year, and good things are now like happening to me.
Yeah, that's nice, mate, actually. And it's like just goes to show, like, don't knock something until you've tried it, right? Because 99.9% of people our age, if you ask them to read the Bible, they'd probably laugh. But you could be that 0.1% that could offer somebody a little bit of knowledge or a little bit of inspiration, or just give them that idea. Do you know what? Like, if you're looking for something, a little bit of faith, a little bit of belief, give it a go.
Yeah, 100%. And I know a lot of people do laugh. When I first started telling people, I was like, oh yeah. Like I told a lot of my mates that. I told a lot of people who I speak to, I was like, yeah, I read the Bible and that. And like before, maybe when I was 18, 19, I would have went, oh, I read the Bible, and everyone would have laughed at me and I would have got real embarrassed about it. But now when people sort of like was like, what have you done that for? I was like, no, I just done it because I wanted to and I really enjoyed it. So like I got no shame. Like before I would have been a bit worried, a bit embarrassed, but not embarrassed at all. If anything, it's given me good to put my faith into something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it.
I'm not sorry to interrupt you. I'm not saying
Right.
like I want to go to church every weekend and that, but like doing some little things like that, like maybe I want to in the future. You know what I mean? Just because it helped me through a time when I was struggling.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then in regards to that as well, like you say about people shying, or potentially you shying away from maybe a little bit of stick because you've done something different to the crowd. Like within the resilience talk that I do, I say that like there's so much power in not following the crowd. Is that something that like maybe you wish you'd started doing earlier within your career and your life?
Yeah, possibly. I think it's just where I matured. You know what I mean? Like as I'm getting older, I'm maturing into a man. You know what I mean? Not a young boy anymore. I'm 28, so the Dean Dodge who people might have knew 4 or 5 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, is completely different to the Dean Dodge I am now.
Yeah, and life, like people change, don't they? You know, and I think that's such a powerful thing that you've done in regards to the professional boxing, following your dreams, not bothered about what people think in regards to the Bible. Do you feel like, I suppose, more confident in yourself then? Is that another thing that maybe it's had, like you've grown with obviously training on your own, being by yourself, going through the hard times? Would you say your confidence has grown through that?
Yeah, definitely. Like I don't like I used to be like when I was younger, and I used to be caring what I wore, how I done my hair, and that like how I looked all the time. Like everything was very much on appearance now, and I was used to be really. I don't know why, but I just used to feel like I had to be like looking perfect all the time or doing something right. But now as I've got older, I really don't care. I don't care how I dress. Like I wear trackies all the time. I would look like to look like someone who lives in the gym sort of thing. I don't care. I've got a rubbish car. Most people got a rubbish car, but to me, it don't bother me because it gets me to A to B, plays my music, and I'm happy with it. You know what I mean? Like I honestly don't care what people think, or people look at me differently, or people think, oh, I ain't got as much money as them. Like them things don't matter to me at all. And they used to be like turn my back up and like, oh, gotta have this, gotta have that. But nah, like as I've got older, I just feel like I don't need to impress no one except myself.
Yes, a powerful place to be in for sure. Next question I've got on the list, or next talking point I've got on the list, is when you transfer from amateur boxing to the professional game, what are the biggest, apart from obviously the fact that you train way more than what you probably used to have to for your amateur bouts, what are the biggest differences in regards to transferring from amateur boxing to professional boxing?
The biggest difference is probably things are a little are slowed right down. You know what I mean? Because you got more rounds, so things are slowed right down, and it's more about picking your shots and landing big shots and putting the power and your punches into the shots. Another thing is that obviously longer rounds you need the stamina, so you've obviously got to train a lot harder. If I was doing a free freeze now, it'd be a different story. It'd be just so like quick, it'd be over with. And another thing is probably the gloves. The gloves are so tiny and small.
Oh yeah.
Little 8 ounce gloves they are. I remember putting a pair of them on for the first time I'm fighting someone. I think, God, Jesus, I'm gonna knock everyone out. How can I take these? It's like hitting someone with no gloves that like had like no padding in there. It was crazy. I was thinking, no way could someone take a punch off me with these on, but they're tough men in there, and that's probably the biggest thing. And when you get your hands wrapped as well, it's crazy. It's like a big like cement block on your hands and that to protect your hands because the gloves are so tiny. I've like in my last 2 fights, my hands are gone because the gloves are just so small. And when you punch someone on the head, that you punch them wrong or hit them on top of the skull, and that my hands just swell up.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you feel the difference when you first put those pro gloves on then, from like your hands being protected, obviously in an amateur, and obviously other people's faces being protected, I suppose. When you started boxing with those pro gloves on, you did feel the difference then within your hands and like your body, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. Because like a few of the lads I've boxed and like I've given them really big cuts, really big gashes and that just by punching them, and I've never done that as an amateur. Don't know if that's just because I'm getting bigger and stronger and growing into a man, but I'm hitting harder. But that's the biggest thing that you get marked up very easily. Like even my nose now is like a little bit not marked out, and that's from sparring. The
Really?
big gloves on there.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then as well as that, like, because if you don't mind me saying, like when you're signed by Eddie Hearn and all that sort of stuff, all of your sponsors, all of the work outside of the ring is almost covered for you. You almost have to be a bit of a promoter still, like all of the work with getting your sponsors, which obviously we mentioned in the Instagram post. I'm sure you'll have the opportunity to mention them as well at the end of the podcast. But you've almost got to be, I know you've got your manager, I know you've got your coaches, but you've almost got to be you've got to be Dean the fighter, Dean the promoter, Dean the nutritionist. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a lot of things that go into where you're at in the professional game.
Yes, mate. Yes, that's only a lot of people don't understand that. They just think, oh, you're a professional fighter, but you're making loads of money because they assume you're what a professional footballer down there because that's all they know, don't they?
Yeah.
So no, it's not like that. Like I up until probably the last year, I've been working as well. Been working alongside training and like only working part time, but just doing days here and there. What I could do to just pave my way to box. So I had some sponsors help me out, but it's still not enough. But luckily, I've had some sponsors come on for this actual fight, and they've all paid for all my brain scans, all my medicals, and they've paid for like the expenses of this fight camp, which has been a massive help.
Yeah, and like I said, there'll definitely be an opportunity for you to reel them off at the end of the show, mate. In regards to your family, you mentioned your dad and you sitting down and watching that film at Christmas. With obviously you mentioned football as well. When you were growing up, did you have like a good sporting like influence around you? Like was he one of the people that used to go and watch you box? Like what sort of influences from your family have you had?
I wouldn't say I really had any influences, you know what I mean? My dad supported me. He did come and watch me at my fights. And he's watched most of my pro fights as well. He still comes and supports me when he can. But influences as in who did I look up to be a professional athlete or to supply and go after sports? I didn't really ever look up to anyone in particular. I think I just wanted to get myself out of out of the situation or what I was in. I didn't want to just be another average person working an average job, earning an average wage. I wanted to chase my dream and do what I could possibly to get it.
Yeah, that's a good answer. And to be fair, one of the questions that has been sent in from Instagram is who was your boxing idol growing up, or who is your boxing idol? Do you have an answer to that question? Or
Not really. I watch a lot of fighters. I don't have an idol, in as such, but I like watching a lot of fighters. Like recently, I've been watching a lot of the Four Kings, so like Duran, Leonard, Hitman Hearns, and Marvin Hagler. I've been watching them. They're the 80s era. Been enjoying their fights. They were some good fighters. But yeah, I haven't really had a standout. You know what I mean? Like Mayweather's obviously he's the best of the best. He's done what he's done, but I like the fighters like Eric Morales, the tough Mexicans, the people who come from nothing, who've been broke, who've been poor, and done it the hard way. Marcus Maidana, he was an Argentinian guy from Argentina, and he came over to and boxed on a couple American shows and beat some of the top lads over here.
wow.
He even boxed Mayweather a couple of times as well and earned some good money.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because obviously, because you style yourself off that kind of boxer, I guess you want to watch that style of boxer as well. What I'll do, Dean, is I'll just do the other couple of questions that have come in from Instagram for you, mate. Get it out of the way.
Yeah.
One of them is, what is your ultimate goal?
My ultimate goal in boxing. My ultimate goal is to win a British title. That's the main objective, and that's the objective I really think I can achieve. Obviously one step at a time. I go in this 7 area. But that's my main goal. If I can walk and lead boxing, winning a British title, and then I'll be very happy. That is the goal. What I want to achieve is win a British title. If I win anything after that or do anything better than that, then it's a bonus.
Yeah, amazing. That would be some feat, mate. And I'm sure everybody, all of your friends, family, everyone from Yeovil will be rooting for you on that one. And then the other question is, do you still get pre-bout nerves? And if so, how do you deal with them?
Pre-bout nerves, 100%. If I didn't have nerves, I think things would be bit worried. You know what I mean?
There's
Like
something wrong with you, yeah.
Yeah, there's exactly. There'd be something madly wrong with me. I love the nerves. I love everything about fight day. The jitteriness, like I love it. It makes you switch on. Once I got the nerves, I just don't know. Just so you have sparring days, you can have a bad spar, you can have a good spar, but on fight night, if I know that I've got to perform, and if you don't perform, then that's it. You look stupid in front of everyone, or even at worst, you can get knocked out. So I always switch on, and I know when it's time to go, it's time to go, and the switch comes on into the brain, and I'm very focused. And yeah, I love the nerves. You know what I mean? It is a bit of a weird one, but I do like it.
You could almost like switch it to excitement at times, I guess. Like, of course, I mean, I've never done it, mate, but I'm just guessing that when you're sat in the changing room, you get that fear of what could go wrong. But also, when you're sat there, you think about, I guess the walk-in must be hell of a buzz, like playing a track that you love, like over the speakers. Obviously, this time around, when you go out for that title fight, there's going to be people there, like, and hopefully a lot of people there supporting you. And that walk down into the ring and thinking, you know what, if I pull this off, this is actually really exciting. So I guess it's like those nerves and that feeling of like anxiety, I guess you can switch from feeling nervous to actually, do you know what, let's go, let's make this exciting.
Yeah. Oh, and you just like you're making me imagine it now, just walking down to the ring. Yeah, it's something else. You know what I mean? Like, unless you haven't done it, unless you're a fighter yourself, and you know what it feels like. It's a mad experience. You know what I mean? It is something only a few people will be able to tell you, but it's some buzz. It's the best thing in the world.
Amazing. Dean, I want to ask you, because I remember I was obviously tuned into your previous title fight and watched it it was like on a YouTube channel, wasn't it? I can't remember what it was
Yes.
called. And you were mentioning about like people coming to get, like Eddie Hearn coming to get you, like signing you to a thing. Well, what I'm getting at is because it's such a difficult game, I guess, to be picked up by the big promoters, and almost have the automatic enrollment into big shows and stuff like that. At times, can it be quite like demoralizing to think if you're not in? I guess it's like a click, right? You've almost got to be ready-made to that show, have a bit of a pyramid made for you into that sort of area. Can it be a little bit demoralizing to kind of like not go under the radar as such, but have to literally do everything yourself?
Oh yeah, it's very hard. You know what I mean? Just even selling the tickets. You know what I mean? Like I thought for this fight, selling tickets would be easier for me because it's on such a big event. It's headlining the show. It's in London. I thought that ticket sales would be flying out. Don't get me wrong, they're doing okay, but not doing as well as I thought they would. But the lads have been picked by the Eddie Hearns and had the good opportunities and that. Some of them get them opportunities, but just simply because they're popular lads. You know what I mean? I know a few people who are crazy popular and sell like 400 or 500 tickets, and because they make Eddie Hearn, the promoter, or any big promoter, money, they're making the money. They ain't gonna turn them kids away, so they get them on the show. They put them in fights and that, and everyone's winning. You know what I mean? The promoter's winning because he's making money. The lads who are fighting, who are fighting on the shows, are doing well because they're making money and their names and headlines. But like people like me who struggled selling 100 tickets to a big event like this, yeah, like I do go underneath the radar, but probably people in boxing do know me, but not as well as someone who is boxing on Eddie Hearn shows because like random people who don't even really watch boxing could flick by and see someone and be like, oh, this kid looks right, but because he's been on the platform, big platform, he'll then get a few more fans, something random fans, like for anyone, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I guess the best answer to getting known is getting this win in April.
Yeah, exactly. Just keep winning. That's what you can do. If you just keep winning, then eventually you're gonna get picked up. I know that from Portsmouth. He didn't really sell many tickets. He done it the hard way, but he just kept winning and winning and winning and winning. And eventually he went and boxed on Sky Sports, and then he beat one of Eddie Hearn's prospects. And now he's fighting on a massive stage in America. He is headlining the whole show on the zone. So he's smashing it. He is.
Yeah, and in regards to we'll wrap up like the Q&A on the show and then go into the 11 questions to finish, which I do with every guest in a minute.
Okay.
What can we expect from you in this upcoming fight? Are you allowed to give anything away?
Fireworks, trust me, it's going to be fireworks. It's going to be a good fight for the people who come in to watch, and they're going to enjoy it, and they're going to enjoy it even more when I will lift that belt afterwards.
Amazing. What an answer that is. So, Dean, as I said, mate, I do 11 questions to finish. I ask 11 questions for you to answer as quickly as you possibly can. And I put you up against all of the guests that have been on previously. So I'm just going to find the time that you need to beat currently, which is 1 minute and 11 seconds, mate. So I wish you all the best of luck. Are you ready to go?
Yeah, go.
Okay, Dean, what is your Tesco meal deal choice?
Chicken stuffing, water, and some grapes.
Best sporting memory?
Knocking out Nathan Kirk at Bournemouth at the O2 Academy.
Who is your sporting hero?
Muhammad Ali, just because what he stood for and what he done in the game.
Favorite takeaway, if you was to eat one?
Domino's pizza.
Go-to music choice.
Drum and bass.
If you was to have a favourite tipple, what would it be?
A favourite what?
Drink. Favourite drink?
What, alcoholic or anything?
Yeah. Like anything, mate.
Oh, double vodka and something. Double vodka, lemonade, lime.
Nice. Best coach or somebody you've been managed by?
Dean Lewis.
Most famous opposition?
Who I inspired is probably Isaac Lowe.
Advice you would like to have given yourself at 18?
The same as now. Just keep chasing dreams and don't give up.
And then best boxers you've boxed with? I guess same answer as the previous one.
Yeah, Isaac Lowe, Reece Edwards, Lee McGregor, European British champion, Lee Wood, world champion. Yeah, a lot of big names.
Amazing. And then finally, have you or do you have any pre-match or bout habits?
Put the left glove on first.
You know what, Dean, you've come in at a good time, but I feel like because you misheard one of the questions, I'm going to take 5 seconds off. I'll be nice. So you come in at 122, mate, which actually, in comparison to other people, is a decent time, mate. So well done. And also, funnily enough, when I interview footballers or rugby players or whatever, they will put the left shin pad, boot, whatever it is on first as well. So that's quite a common one that comes up, yeah. Dean, I'm going to give you, do you want an opportunity to give a shout out to your sponsors before the show finishes?
I can't get off my phone, but I would love to.
So I can do it for you if you want.
You do it for me, yeah, please, mate, because it's on my phone. I can't.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. So we've got Dean Dodge's sponsors who we are going to give a big shout out to on today's show: Penville Scaffolding, Camelot Builders, Anytime Fitness, and the T-shirt shop of Western Supermare. And then fight sponsors as well: Callis Media, who's doing some really good work around the Yeovil area at the moment.
Very good.
Adam Rains, PT, Dave Creed and Sons Limited, Southwest Decor Property Solutions, Galador, Cutting It Fine, Landscape and Gardening, MP Plastering, Southwest Rendering Specialists, All Sport Insurance, Allied Scaffolding, Equibuild, Animal Microchips, JMR Plumbing and Heating, and Data Net Solutions. How did I do, Dean? Is that decent?
Very good, mate. Yes, very good.
Mate, how have you found your experience on today's show?
No, I've loved it. It's been a pleasure. I mean, I really enjoyed it. It's been a good chat. You've asked me some very good questions, and to be honest, you've been a very, very good spokesman. You know what I mean? You've been firing the questions away, and you've done really well. Like, impressed.
Thank you very much, mate. I appreciate it. Dean, if people want to come and find you, find out more about you, and even come and buy some tickets for your upcoming fight, where can they come and find you?
On my social medias, which is Dean Dodge Boxing or just Dean Dodge on Facebook. I also have Instagram, which is Dean_Dodge. Twitter, I have Dean_Dodge. And just send me a message on any of them and I'll get back to you. And if you want to buy tickets, I'll come and meet you with a ticket and personally hand give you the ticket so you can meet me in person.
Amazing. You can find me, the Grassroots Guy, on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you'd like to contact me to either suggest a guest or suggest yourself as a guest for the show, you can email me at grassrootsguypod@gmail.com. Today has been an amazing show with the upcoming Southern title champion, Dean Dodge. Let's go, mate. And you can find me with a new episode most Fridays, but this one is actually out on a Monday. So there we go. Dean, I'll give you the floor to say cheerio to listeners.
Yes, listeners, I just want to say thank you for tuning in. And April 1st, I'm going to be the first person from Yeovil to win a professional boxing title and make the people of Yeovil proud. So thank you for tuning in and God bless.
Let's go. Speak to you all soon.